Welcome to the Self. My name's Chris, and today we're going to talk about the fear, the uncertainty and doubt that's being generated as a result of this COVID-19 virus. But also, what we want to start to do is put some sort of mechanisms or some process or some platforms in place where we can actually emotionally fight some of those fears as well. I'm also want to look at this kind of, this gap between people who really care and kind of understand the situation to some extent, and the people that are really blasé about it, who are actually becoming part of the problem. But I don't think they're doing that out of a conscious decision. I just think that they are maybe a little bit ignorant about exactly what effects their behaviour is having. So I wanted to start there. And it's kind of really understanding about the why we are being asked to self-isolate. Why are we, experiencing massive job losses and, lots and lots of businesses closing down, and, this kind of, some people think this exaggerated action because, there's only 2,000 cases, 3,000 cases in Australia, and there's only 8 deaths. Why the overreaction? No, that's a fair question, right? So let's have a look at the why. Why are we being asked this? Well, in any infectious disease that is very resilient, the infection rate is massive. What do I mean by that? Okay, this virus, this COVID virus, can hang around, can be infectious for up to 48 hours being on a surface, a table, a chair, anything where somebody who is infected touches something, that becomes a contact point. And what they are saying, the authorities are saying, that one person who's infected can infect 3 other people because of the resilience of the virus. Now, in turn, those 3 people are going to infect 3 people individually. So now I've got 3, 9, 27. And so having a look at the spread, this exponential spread and the exponential death toll, we can kind of start to see if we don't arrest this, if we can't stop the spread, then it's just going to keep on spreading through our population. Now, you might think that this is just an example and this is just a concept example, but in fact this isn't. This is exactly what's happening from the worldwide COVID-19 website that track every 24 hours new cases and new deaths, and that J-curve is pretty similar to the one I've just shown you. So we are being asked to be the barrier between the virus and the vulnerable, to self-isolate so we can get a handle and skill up and actually resource up our hospitals and our medical centres and our testing equipment and the type of equipment that's going to save lives through the respirators, and on the side try to actually invent a cure, a vaccine that will actually cure this virus. So what we're actually doing is slowing down the spread. So we are saving other people's lives. Could be, your mother, your father, your grandmother, your grandfather, your wife, your husband, your children, friends of yours, friends of mine. So that's what we're being asked of. So now I know the reason behind it. I know the reason why I need to endure this pain and this uncertainty about what's going to happen after this. I've lost my job, I've got no income, So yes, this is really upsetting and discomforting, and it's bloody frightening. But understanding the why gives me an emotional connection between my actions and what's being asked of me. So with that emotional understanding, then it's kind of like I know now what the rules of the game are. I know what the outcome is. I know what game I'm playing, so to speak, because I know what the outcome is. I know what success looks like. So now the question is, what is my role in that? And by understanding my role that I'm going to play in this game, in this situation, if you like, that gives me a sense of purpose. And with that sense of purpose, I can start to define myself and give myself some type of personal pride about playing a part in this. And it's kind of like, we're guardians of life, if you like. We're defenders against death. And if you kind of, bring that in, we are like, it is like, being a brick in the dam. And if I take that brick out, then there's a leak and someone's going to die. We are part of the cure and not part of the disease. So the next thing then is, how do we cope? How do we deal with this task that we've been asked? And how do we deal with our fear? And by kind of saying, okay, this is something we're going to have to deal with at a conscious level. And by looking at that, we want to try and create a certain amount of faith and resolve that, the outcome that we are going to achieve, things are going to be okay. Things will, return to some type of normality where I can get on with my life, my dreams and my aspirations about, what that might mean living in Australia and in the Western world. And so, one of the things that, we want to look at is that it's okay. We're going to have moments of weakness. We're going to wake up at 4 a.m. in the morning and, not have that resolve. We're going to have doubts about ourselves, and we're going to have doubts about, are we good enough to, the boredom and, all of these things that we are all facing. And so there's three things that we need to start to look at. We need to look at what disciplines that we bring into our world, into our home, into ourselves, into the people that, we're caring for. Discipline, massive. We need to maintain our standards, and it's the little tiny things. Because as you start to stop the little tiny things, stop making the bed, stop, dressing, stop, just staying in your pajamas all day, don't clean your teeth, don't wash, it's just playing Nintendo, PlayStation all fucking day. It's these little things that I'm taking the line of least resistance. That's not happening, right? We're not doing that. Discipline and conditioning. So we want to maintain our standards, and it's the conditioning as well that's going to strengthen. So by discipline, we're going to have a routine, and we're going to change that routine up, depending on which day or week it is. And this is my little ledger that I've put together. I mean, it looks crazy and it's childlike, but I tell you, it helps me anchor, and it helps me, go my north. Where is, my compass point? Resets me every day. Then I'm going to start conditioning it, because conditioning is strengthening. It's repetition. I'm going to get through it. Small steps every day. Small steps every day. Small steps every. So now I want to kind of have a structure about what I'm doing, during the day. And there are lots and lots of websites and YouTube and Facebook videos about some really, really creative stuff. But what it means for you. And so, I want to make sure that what I'm seeing for myself and for my family is that, we're not victims. I am a volunteer in this army. And that allows me to kind of, now it's up to me though to do something that takes that boredom out, that's going to stimulate me. And one of the things that what I want to do is make sure that you write down and follow up. Write down and follow up. It starts with just getting the pen, getting a piece of paper, put it down, something that you can follow. One of the things I would urge you not to do is just keep on going down the negative path. Hanging out, virtually with just, this is bullshit, this is crap, oh, the world's ending, right? Just the negativity will kill you. Right? Forget the fucking virus. Negativity is possibly the worst thing that you can get involved in. You've got to start looking at what the outcomes are going to be. What are you going to do on the outside of this? So, continue learning skills, learn different things, learn how to, whatever it is, do online courses. Enroll in university, whatever it is, but it has to be productive. Doesn't matter 8 hours a day, a couple of hours a day, but it's got to be productive. And there's support groups out there that will help you. And so, it might sound a bit corny, but I sincerely believe that we are volunteers in this army. You know, we are the barrier against the virus to the vulnerable. You know, I love, you know, being the guardians of life and a defender against death. Might be a little bit out there, but I tell you, at the end of the day, if we weren't here to defend it, there would be more deaths without you helping. Thank you.